Alright, so tonight we're going to be talking about something. We're going to run back to Unit 2 where we were doing inequalities. That means you have a less than or greater than sign, or less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to incorporate that into graphs like we did last unit. So when you're graphing inequalities with two variables, that would be an x and a y, that's your two variables. The first step you do is you solve for y, so you have to put it in y equals, and then you're going to identify your m, which is your slope, and b, which is your y-intercept. Okay? So if your inequality has a less than or a greater than sign, you're going to use a dotted line or dashed. And if it has the equal to on it, you're going to use a solid line. So then the fourth step is to pick any point above or below the line that you graph and test it in the inequality. If it works, shade that side containing the test point. If it doesn't, shade the other side. I'm going to give you some hints on doing that, but first let's go ahead and graph this. We can't graph it yet because it's not in y equals. We haven't solved for y. So we need to put this into y equals. So I got to get this y by itself. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I get y is less than or equal to 2x plus 3. And now it's in y. We have solved for y. So now we can go ahead and graph it. So my b is 3 and my m is 2. So let's go ahead and graph this. We always graph the y-intercept first. Put a dot on 3. That's where it crosses the y-intercept. And then your slope is 2. So that's the same as up to over 1. So up to and over 1. Up to and over 1. And then you would do the same thing this way. You're going down to and over 1. Okay, so instead of drawing a solid line, you have to first look and see what is your sign. If it's equal to, then yes, go ahead and draw that solid line, and that should be straight. I'm sorry, the grid lines didn't print very well. So you would draw solid. If this had just been a less than sign, you would dash that line through. Okay, it would not be a solid line. Alright, and then I want you to look at the sign. If it's a less than means shade below the line. Because it's everything less than that value. This is all greater than. It's above the line. Okay? And that's how you graph inequalities. Let's do this next one. Let's get this in y equals first. To do that, we're going to divide by a negative 3. Remember with inequalities, when you divide by a negative, what do? You flip the sign. So now it becomes y is greater than negative 2 over 3x, and then negative 6 divided by negative 3 is a positive 2, plus 2. So that's this is your line now, your function. So let's see here, my b is 2 and my m is negative 2 over 3. So let's go ahead and graph that. We're going to put a dot where it crosses the y-axis, that's your y-intercept, at 2. And then we're going to go down 2 and over 3, because that's our slope. Down 2 and over 3. Okay, so now you can see this line, and our inequality was greater than. So for greater than, you shade above the line. So before we do that, we need to draw our line. There's no equal to, so we're going to keep it dotted or dashed. is not solid. So it looks like this. And since it's greater than, we're going to shade everything above the line. Okay? Alright, let's go to the next page. We're going to graph y plus 2x is greater than 4. Let's put that in y equals. We just need to move this to the other side by subtracting it. So we get y is greater than 4 minus 2x. Okay. And then that makes our m negative 2. And our b is 4. So it crosses at the 4, put a dot there. And then the slope is negative 2 over 1. Negative down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Now let's look at our inequality symbol. It is a greater than sign. And so we're going to dash that line. It's not equal to, so we're not going to draw a solid line. Because it's greater than, we're going to shade everything on top. Let's do a special one down here. When you see x equals or is greater than, less than anything, you need to think in your head, bucks. That was something on your test. And a lot of you missed it. Bucks. So this is a vertical line. And since it's equal to, it's going to be a solid line. We're going to draw it at 3. Alright, so now which side do we shade? We shade everything greater than 3. So everything greater than 3 would be 4, 5, 6, and so on. So it's going to be everything on this side. And then finally on the bottom, what you're doing is you're plugging in these x and this y to this equation to see which one is true, and that would tell you what is the solution. So let's try this one first. 0 for y equals 2 times 0 plus 3. Well, that's going to be 0 equals 0 plus 3. Does 0 equal 3? No, it's not A. The next one would be 1 equals 2 times negative 3 plus 3. So 1 equals negative 6 plus 3. 1 equals negative 3. Nope. And then, oh, it's not equals, guys. It's less than. I'm sorry. 0 is less than 3. This could be it. Could be. And then on this one, less than is 1 less than negative 3. No, it's not. I'm sorry. So now let's check this last one. 1 equals 2 times negative 1 plus 3. So 1 equals negative 2 plus 3. 1 equals 1. And it's not supposed to be equals, it's less than. I forgot, that's the sign we're using in there, not equations. 1 is not less than 1, so it's not that one. It actually is A. And that's because it's less than and not equals. That's the sign I should have been using. 0 is less than 3. Okay, we're going to finish the rest of this tomorrow in class. So there's no need for you to do the rest of that packet tonight. And y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow.